Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum, and I react to music. Today, we're getting back into the Opeth catalog, as I'm sure a lot of people will be excited for. We're going to be doing the song Burden, which is another track from their 2008 album Watershed. This is a donation request from the great Jeremiah Martin. Jeremiah, thanks so much for being a supporter of the channel, for making your Buy Me a Coffee donation request. If you would like to request a song and make sure that I actually get to it in a reasonable amount of time, just a reminder, I do have my link over here. I'm going to point to the wrong side every time. Right down here for Buy Me a Coffee, and that is the best way to do that. Now, without any further ado, let's get right into it. I have not heard this song before, but I am excited to. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure I need to start it over. That sounded like it was in the middle of a note. I'm a sucker for pianos. Kind of an interesting string thing going on.
Once upon a time carried a putter inside.
This is maybe going to sound a little weird, but I already have to pause because I was not expecting the vocals to do that. Okay. He comes in with that first note, and I apologize, I forgot to pull up the lyrics. But he comes in with the very first notes there, and it what my expectation is as a listener is that he's going to continue in this kind of spoken pattern, but that's not what happens. He hits this higher note, he holds it out. It's more of a dramatic vocal piece right out of the gate. Yeah, so Once Upon a Time, I'm gonna back it up. I'm expecting this very somber, controlled piece, and I know that it's going to get more interesting later because it's Opeth, but
I once upon a time
it's not where I expected that to go.
carried a putter inside. Sung a last goodbye. A broken rhyme I'd underline. There's an ocean of sorrow in you.
This is crazy.
Saw a movement in their eyes. Said I no longer knew the way. Giving up the ghost. A passing mind submit to fear and the wait for redemption ahead.
I'll go back and catch this. I feel like I paused it at a horrible time. But I like this kind of, I feel the beat, I'm kind of getting into it, and then we've got this sort of a swing rhythm that comes in. So I'm not good at picking out the lyrics even when he's singing clearly like this, and partially it's because I'm a drum obsessed person and I just listen to the drums, but also I have a very hard time understanding lyrics just generally. So, but you've got this swing pattern that comes in for just half of a line of the lyrics. It's da 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 da, right? So it longer note da 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 da, right? And so then it goes right back to more steady kind of 4/4 type pattern. It's very interesting to kind of work that in. So far, we're 2 minutes into the song. So far, this is all over the place compared to where it started, and I like it. It's not a complaint, but really interesting. There's a lot of different things occurring even in this relatively controlled space, this relatively short period of time. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. This, by the way, this album art, Jeremiah did ask me to do or he said that there was a official video and it was the band playing, and I thought that's cool. But when I went to pull that up, it was like 480p, and I just thought I'll just do the album art because this is probably my favorite album cover, excuse me, that I have seen from Opeth so far. And really cool. I mean, just looking at that image gets you in this sort of somber, reflective mood, and I dig it. So, okay, I'm gonna back it up. I really, really like this kind of swing element brought in. I don't think it's trying to be jazzy. It's just that's the sort of pattern that it is.
And in their eyes, said I no longer knew the way. Giving up the
I think it's right
ghost.
here.
Passing minds amid to fear.
Yeah.
And the wait for redemption ahead.
Big organ solo. Where are the digits for that? No, it's wrong.
Death should take me now. Count my mistakes and let me through. Whisper in my ear. You've taken more than we received, and the ocean of sorrow is you.
Trying to get used to running multiple different windows, and I sound like I don't know how computers work when I say that, but you saw me scroll down accidentally in the wrong window, so my bad. Looking at the lyrics, I have it in a separate window right below this, but I really like the lyrics here. This what's labeled on Genius as verse 3. This, if death should take me now, count my mistakes and let me through. Whisper in my ear, you've taken more than we've received, and the ocean of sorrow is you. It's very poetic. But as far as the meaning, the you've taken more than we've received, like this tabulation of net giving or net receiving. There's a certain kind of callousness to that, but also the implication, the way I'm hearing it, the way I'm reading it, is that you've taken more than you've given, and even in spite of that, or even because of that, perhaps the ocean of sorrow is you. You're the one that's despairing and having a bad period in your life, or bad end to your life, as this may be suggesting. Um, you know, even though you haven't been generous, right? Or again, maybe because you haven't been generous, right? You viewed it as a give and take game, life, and you've taken more than you've given, and you suffered for it, right? You didn't even get anything after all that trouble and all that muscling in and taking. I have no idea. I have no idea what the situation really is. I've spoken about that on a previous video, but with Opeth, it's so open ended. These lyrics, it's like I don't really know who the characters are and that sort of thing. Maybe I would have a better sense if I listened to every single song in order, but uh, count my mistakes and let me through. It's again that's that idea of tabulation, of counting, of determining the net giving, net taking. So you kind of have this counting idea in this verse, and that you're going to reach a gate of some kind and you may be denied entry. Right? Your soul may be denied entry at whatever gate to heaven, hell, Hades, whatever. Not Hades, but the underworld. And yeah, yeah, the gates of Tartarus. Very interesting. Very interesting. The um, y'all would have no way of knowing this, but here's a look behind the curtain. So you can see my background here in the corner. I just minimized the YouTube window. My background is Tartarus from the game Hades. That's kind of where that came into my brain from. So if you're into that, there you go. All right, let's finish out the song. So far, amazing, amazing. As I said before, I don't know if you heard me because the music was playing. It's worth it just for that jazzy organ solo. Totally beautiful. All right, I'll back it up. So you've got dueling solos. You have a solo over here, then you have a solo over here. It kind of passes back and forth. So really cool implementation. Also, they're beautiful solos. Sorry to pause again. You'll hear here that there is a splash cymbal or perhaps a cymbal stack. One of the wonderful things about listening to prog, you hear, drummers like, I've forgotten his name, the drummer for Opeth. Y'all have told me who it is, and I just can't think of his name right now. Who's excellent, excellent drummer, right? I've only seen the one live video, so I'm not super familiar with how he generally has his set and how many cymbals he's got and stuff. But just generally, you think of bands like Rush, you think of bands like Tool, Porcupine Tree, Dream Theater, guys like that. you've got typically a wider variety of drums and cymbals and perhaps electric pads and a gong, things like that in your drum space. I think I said yes earlier. I meant to say Rush. Not actually sure how big of a drum set Yes uses, so it's my bad. Um, but you get these rich textures from the percussion. If there's something that I can just sit here and ramble about, it's the percussion, right? A splash cymbal is something that you don't go buy a 5-piece drum set out of a box and it just doesn't have a splash cymbal. Okay, but it's this really, really like aggressive sound in a lot of contexts. This, so I'm going to back it up. You can hear it. But when that comes in, it's extremely noticeable if you're listening to the percussion. Um, it's in some ways you might think of it as the opposite of a ride cymbal. A ride cymbal is very big. It's very, very gently curved, and it's got kind of a long, echoey sound. A splash cymbal is aggressive, shorter sound. It doesn't ring a long time, and it's heavy, right? Like when you get that in, it's probably aggressive music. It's not in this case, so that's why I'm bringing it up. It's a very artistic, interesting choice. It's not what I would expect, so it caught my ear. But anyway, I love it. I love drums. So it's not here yet. I think it's about to come in after this film. Here I am, like rocking out. It's everything I can do not to go with the splash cymbal, right? It's very heavy. I was wondering. I thought that was a really long outro if it was just going to do the same thing. It was a great groove, but. Okay, so we're pitch bending the whole song. It sounds like the guitar is breaking, like. What if we just made the guitar more and more and more out of tune? Okay. These Opeth endings, man. All right. That, very ending stuff there. Okay, very interesting. I don't think I've ever heard a song end quite like that. The distorted laughing bit, that's what it says on the lyrics page. It says distorted laughing. So that little effect there, it's almost like, okay, the next track on the album is going to be like, you know, DJ Shadow or somebody is going to come, like you're setting the beat for a new track and you're watching a live mix of a DJ or something. I know that's not what was going to happen. I know that's not what happens on the album, but you know what I'm saying? Like it could have easily been like, okay, bring in the synth pads. Okay, let's do dance music now. Um, I'm sure that's the most out of touch thing to say about an Opeth song. All right, so very beautiful. I mean, you something that I think I can always count on with Opeth is you're gonna have these just beautiful guitar tones and sound textures, and there's not a lot of lyrics here, which I'm sort of thankful for because I it's not that I don't like his singing, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that I don't have a whole lot to say typically on the lyric side. So I really got to focus on the performance side here, and it's a beautiful song. This one, this is one that I very strongly desire to listen to again. And I'd say that's generally true for all the Opeth songs that I've heard so far, but this song in particular is just sort of a place that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? It's a sound space that it's comfortable to be in, even though it's kind of a melancholy thing. It's a comfort sound as well as being having some maybe sad undertones, right? Because melancholy doesn't always have to be like an exclusively bad thing. Okay, really cool song, really cool song. So I'm gonna come back to that one. Thank you, Jeremiah, again for the recommendation. If you would like to make a request, again, right below me, this site, buy me a coffee. It's the best way to do that. You can request stuff in the comments. I do read every single comment, but that way I will prioritize what you have requested. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.